Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to episode 15 of Studio Time with Ryos. So in today's video, I think I'm going to be making some dark progressive house. I've been listening to it a lot lately, and obviously I kind of already make it, so I'm pretty excited about it. But before we get started, I want to quickly shout out my Patreon. If you guys missed it, I did launch a Patreon and we're offering a bunch of different things. I'm not going to go rant about it again, but my favorite thing that we're offering is the stems and MIDI for these Studio Time with Ryos episodes. So if you guys like them so much, you can get the stems, you can get the MIDI files in the link down below. Go check it out. There might be something for you. So yeah, with that out of the way, let's have a great session. Let's get right into it. All right, you guys, episode 15, and let's get straight into it. I'm thinking today we start with the leads because I think the leads in any track, to be honest, are important, but I kind of want to get them situated straight away. All right, yo, this one's actually really solid. This could be like our main lead, and then on top of this, we're gonna need probably two more leads. We're gonna need like a crazy super saw type lead layer, and then probably like another sort of simple lead layer. This lead is freaking crazy. Ton of energy. This is exactly what we're gonna need. And then I need one more layer. I kind of want to go for a more like trancy, buzzy lead layer as the third one. I think that'll give the lead texture, or the lead some nice texture rather. So let's go ahead and let's get that in there right now. Yeah, so something like this. Okay, so how do these sound all together? Wait, I didn't add the third one. My bad. All right, let's get these on mixer tracks and we can start processing them. The main lead layer has a annoying frequency that I don't like at all. So let's go ahead, let's get rid of it / tame it. Okay, yeah, so just some quick bouncing, but it already sounds way better now. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's create a lead group. This is where I like doing majority of the heavy lifting. So we'll start with Camel Crusher, absolute staple. We'll do Supercharger, and then we'll do we just need some reverb and delay, really. So we'll do Arts Acoustic, and then we'll do Valhalla delay as well. All right, so let's start with Camel Crusher. Get the Supercharger going. And I'm probably going to turn off all the reverb and delay in the individual synths, just so I have full control over that. Okay, yeah, much better. Now we'll introduce the Arts Acoustic. And let's get the delay going as well. I'm actually going to swap the Arts Acoustic for Ram. I think this reverb would sound better here. Actually, let's swap the Valhalla delay for H delay too, actually. Before we start working on the melody and stuff, we'll just quickly roll off the low end and then maybe tame some of this harshness here. Okay, yeah, so I think that's a good starting point for the leads now. Let's go ahead and start trying to make a melody. I went ahead and pulled up a respace here so that we can have it playing below. And this normally just helps me make the leads. I like having some sort of foundation when I'm making my lead layer. So we'll draw in a quick pattern here. Get some dark vibes going. Yeah, that could be cool. What key do I want to work in? Ooh, G sounds sick. Okay. All right, so now let me try to make a lead melody. And actually, quickly, before I make the lead melody, I just got to take off some of the white noise. It's too much. Okay. So. All right, so I'm thinking about repeating this little section here over and over again. I think that might sound good. What are we in with the double slide right here? All right, I think this is pretty solid. Let me go ahead and copy this over because I'd like to make a variation for the second time around. And what if I do this here? Yeah. All right, there we go. Yeah, that sounds better. So basically what I did is I just switched the position here and here. So this one was A sharp, this one was F. I just did a little flip-flop quick. And that way over here, we can move this to C. Adds a little nice variation. So yeah. Okay, cool. Melody's taken care of. Now, before we move on, I just want to quickly add another lead layer. There's something that I think might sound good here. So let me try this out. Yeah, so this one here is perfect. This is exactly what I had in mind. Just like another simple lead to complement the rest of the stack. Okay, yeah, that makes a huge difference. Basically what I just did, this lead here, I adjusted the octave it was playing on. It was playing a little lower than the other leads, but now I switched it over here. And it sounds really good now. So now the lead stack sounds like this. All right, those sound like some pretty good dark progressive leads to me. So we're gonna run with these now. The next order of business would probably be to get the bass sounds in. We already made our bass line patterns, and now it's just a matter of getting the right sounds in. This is an enormous sub bass. Holy shit. All right, we'll keep that for the sub, even though I was not looking for that right now, but that's a nice little happy accident. Yo, honestly, I was just thinking about something. I think for this track, like what I have in mind, the basses that I made for my song Hey Child would work perfect here. All right, and then let's see what that sounds like with the leads. Turn off the sidechain too. All right, that sounds freaking sick. I think the mid bass is a little loud, so we could just lower that. We are on the right track. Let's keep it moving. I'm excited about this idea now. Let's go ahead and get a kick in, and we'll start building out the drop. So we're gonna need some kicks, claps, rides, and then we're also gonna need like some stabs, as well as white noise and crowd effects and stuff like that. So let's get it going. I think I want to do like some claps to accentuate these first two notes here, just to make it hit extra hard. So we'll do something like this. Pull up some basic drop claps. Oh, we also have to add a sub bass. Don't want to forget that. Actually, let's do that now. We'll use this one that I found, which is absolutely enormous. All right, so just threw some quick sidechain on that sub, and yeah, let's move on to the other elements of this drop here. Let's get the crowd noise and the white noise going. So crowds here. Let's do this one. We'll start it a little over here and then enable generic declicking so that way it's smooth and sort of loops. All right, sick. And then we do need some white noise as well. Okay, now our effects sound good. I do need to adjust the bass because it's not hitting or sounding the way I want it to. I could probably get rid of the mid bass, to be honest. I don't think I want that or need that here. All right, also I want to swap out the thick bass for a different sounding one. Could be a bass. I think this one might sound really good here. Yeah, this is crazy. It might be too low, but I kind of want to see what it sounds like. Okay, maybe it's a little too low, but it just sounds so dope. All right, now I think it's time to start introducing some more rhythm in this drop, so we'll mess around with some percussion and probably adjust the bass line while we do that as well. So let's grab one of my favorite perks. It's the knock. And then right here, we'll do like a big snare fill. All right, so now that we have a little extra groove in this drop, maybe I'll mess around with the bass line some more. That sounds kind of sick. Yeah, it definitely sounds more interesting than just a stagnant bass line throughout. Just so that it's not so overwhelming and overdone, we'll just drop these notes down here so that when they do appear right here and right here, it hits a little harder. All right, the next order of business is to get some stabs going. All right, so that first note that we're on is D sharp. I don't know if we're gonna do brass stabs, but let's see. All right, I like them. Let's try some other sounds though. Yeah, this one is sick. Honestly, they sound really good. The only thing I'm gonna do is add some reverb to them. Yeah, keep it simple. They sound really good already, so no need to mess with them too much. As I'm working on this, I hear some adjustments that I want to make to the bass sounds, primarily just kind of getting more power in this 100 hertz range. Definitely adds a little bit more power. And I'm thinking some reverse sounds right here before the other brass stab would help tie this drop together nicely. Yeah, maybe this. Get rid of that initial transient. All right, yeah, that definitely helps the drop a lot. Let's add realm, and then I also want to add OTT to this as well. Maybe take down the highs a little bit in OTT. And then along with the reverse synth, we'll probably try adding some like reverse claps or something. Yes, now these are just like little mini sweeps. Might help just add a little bit more momentum to the drop. All right, y'all, I'm really happy with the direction of this drop. I'm thinking right here for the halfway fill, we'll obviously take out some of the drums, and then we'll turn off the side chain on the leads right around here. Yeah, maybe we'll try high passing the basses as well. Maybe we'll do a low pass and a high pass for the bass. All right, perfect. So for the drop bass and for the leads, the automation sounds good. Let's try getting in a quick drum fill as well. All right, that drum fill sounds good. And then we also have to turn off the sidechain for the bass as well. I don't want to forget to do that. And we do need another big snare here. Maybe this one. Yeah, this one sounds good, but it's a little thin, so we'll layer it with one that has more low end. We'll try this one. Classic. Yeah, okay, that's better. Another thing that we could do to make this halfway fill a little more interesting is to add a flanger of some sort to add some modulation on the leads in that section. So we'll pull a meta flanger for that, and we will automate the mix so that it only turns on when this lead fill is happening. And then let's copy everything over to the second half of the drop. For the second half of the drop, I'm thinking we add some claps. Yeah, these sound sick here. Okay. The next thing we need for the second half of the drop is some more hi-hats, tambourine, shakers, just some more drums that will reside in the high end of the frequency spectrum. Perfect. First try. Those work really well. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. This cough will not go away. Mod on. Okay. And then also I want to experiment with some rides too for the second half. Yeah, definitely need them. Sick. All right, yo, this sounds so dope, actually. Let's go ahead and make a build-up right now. First off, we'll definitely have the leads playing in the build-up. I already turned the sidechain off, and then we need to get some filtering going as well. And then maybe for the build-up lead melody right here, we can repeat one of these notes. Probably A. And we'll just sort of make it go faster and faster. I also added a quick volume automation to turn down the leads as the build-up progresses so that they don't get overwhelmingly loud. Let's get some more stuff in this build. So we'll do a snare build first. So I'm not sure if I want to do a 4-bar snare build or an 8-bar, but we'll play around with it. Get some impacts. Okay, perfect. The impacts sound great. All right, now let me focus back on the snare build. For right now, we have this. Make it go faster right here. Let's also layer like a trap snare underneath this snare build just to give it some extra rhythm and make it a little cooler. I think it'd be a good idea to add some like little rolls here too. Perfect. Let's try pitching up the trap snare build. And then we'll probably pitch up the regular snare right before the pre-drop. Now, we also need like a droning respace for this build. So we'll probably just use the one that we had earlier. I do want to EQ this respace a bit. I'm thinking we cut off some of the highs, and then I want to accentuate one of these harmonics here. Okay, so let's see how that sounds. We'll pitch up the respace in the last 4 bars of the build. The leads do sound a little bit plain right now in this build-up, so something that I like doing is adding a reverb just specifically for the build leads when they're filtered down. Yeah, so very simple, but that already sounds a lot better to me. All right, now we are going to need our staples for the build-up. We're going to need a volume automation. We're going to use endless smile, and then we'll also automate the stereo width. We also need a high-pass filter as well. Next up, we got to get some risers going for sure. All right, so this riser is pretty good here. So I do want to get like a heavy detuned saw riser as well as maybe like a rhythmic riser and then perhaps a sweep. Oh, this riser is crazy. Ooh, I like this one a lot. Maybe another impact. Actually, this one's perfect. I was going to say another impact right when the snares start. And then we do need that rhythm riser as well. All right, so the effects sound really good in this build now. I'm thinking we get 2 more elements. I want to get a festival clap of some sort playing lightly in the background, as well as maybe like an atmospheric drone or something to help give this some more vibe and space and stuff. So maybe one of these will do for our festival clap. I want it to be light, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I'll just be pretty far back in the mix. Yeah, that's fine. I think that sounds pretty good. And then the drone. See what we can get going here. Okay, this one might be good. And then what I like doing sometimes on these atmospheres is literally throwing OTT on 100%. Makes it sound pretty crazy. And then let's get a super massive as well. Yeah, that sounds crazy. Let's also try adding a flanger. I also want it to go side to side, so I'm going to add a pan man right now. And then also we need to get a fruity bounce so that we can cut it off completely once the pre-drop hits. We don't want any like reverb bleed or anything like that. All right, still not the right sound. Let's try a different arcade pack actually. This sounds sick. I think this is the winner. All right, so my only problem with this atmosphere is that it fades in way too slow and then it fades out pretty quickly. So what I'll do is I'll just record it into audio and then I'll loop it myself. All right, so now that we got it into audio, we'll just loop the best parts. So I'll start it around here, let's say, and then probably loop it like this. Let's see how that sounds now. All right, yeah, much better, much better. So 2 more things we're gonna do before we wrap up. Number 1, I wanna get a reverb throw on this drop lead just to fill in the gaps. And then obviously we need a small little pre-drop thing. I'll probably just do a like pre-drop impact along with the pre-drop fill, but let's finish it up right now. Yeah, so just like that, we'll do it here as well. And we'll probably just tone it down a bit so it's not as dramatic. Reverb throw is done. Let's go ahead and finalize the little pre-drop fill. Maybe we'll use the Identity VIP pre-drop. Oh, that's kind of cool if we extend the Atmos. Okay, that's pretty dope. And then we need a nice little fill for the drop, or for the pre-drop rather. Okay, so I think that if I want to keep the Atmos in the pre-drop, we do need to make some slight adjustments. What I do need to do is swap out this pre-drop impact for a different one. Maybe this one. There's one thing that's throwing me off a little bit in this drop, and I think we just need an additional stab. I kind of want more separation between when the drop lead hits and then when the like other part of the melody comes in. So I'm going to quickly try to get another bass shot in there and see if that makes a difference. I think these hardstyle bass shots work really well. I'm going to roll off the low end a bit and then also get some OTT going. Something else that I heard is right here for the second half of the drop, I'd like some sort of exhaust or something like that, just to give it some extra space. And then maybe we'll do like a riser as well. And in classic Zane fashion, I do want to try one more thing. As I work on this, I'm hearing some more ideas. I think it might sound nice to have some white noise playing throughout the drop too, just to sort of complement the bass and the leads. So yeah, let's get some simple white noise in there. Let's see how that sounds. All right, yo, so I think that's about it. I think we're done. Let's take a listen from the top and let's see what I came up with. Let's go, baby. All right, y'all. So I'm super happy with how this one came out. This is exactly the vibe that I was going for. It's nice and dark. It's got a pretty catchy melody. Really cool lead. So I'm really happy with this one overall, and might just end up as a Ryos track. We'll see. We'll see. So that'll about do it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time I upload. If you guys want the stems and MIDI files for this episode or any other episode of Studio Time with Ryos, you can go down below to the link in my description and head over to my Patreon. If you guys have any requests or suggestions on things you'd like to see in the next episode of Studio Time with Ryos, be sure to drop a comment down below as well. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.